Are there adults in your life that you know you don't want to end up like? But what are you doing about it? So today I want to share with you 10 different tips that you can start to use to make sure that you're going to have a successful life and not end up like certain people who are not having a successful life. If you're new to the channel, my name is Bennett Schwartz and I'm a high performance coach, and I work with individuals both on a personal and a professional level to make sure that they're living the lives that they want to be living. If you're looking to live a richer life, make sure to hit the subscribe and like button down below. After working with hundreds of adults and thousands of young adults, there are certain patterns that I have seen that have really made a difference between those who are successful and those who are not really so successful at the end of the day. I want to share with you the 10 different areas that you can make sure to work on to be able to really see that success over the long run. I've broken them down into 5 different groups, and each group is going to have 2 components to it. The first group is the input group. You see, we have to understand, as young adults, there's so many times that we don't really know what it takes to become successful. And there's certain arrogance that we have that we think we know everything. But if we could start to understand that we really can start to figure out what it really takes to become successful, then we might be able to start to do the work. Because in order to get anything in life, in order to feel a certain way, in order to see certain success, whether it's financially, personally, in your own relationships, it's going to take work. And we have to recognize that there's a certain amount of work that's necessary. So many times I speak to these teens who are just wanting things to happen, but don't realize that they have to make them happen. If we can understand that it takes work for things to manifest in our own personal lives, we can start to put in and implement the things that we can start to do in order to see the success in different areas of our life. The second idea is to recognize that it's going to take hard work. You see, most people have no idea what hard work really means. They know it's going to be hard to be a millionaire. They know it's going to be hard to have a great relationship. But once they get into it, they don't realize that that is the hard work. And that is something that we have to start to recognize. Because if we can acknowledge that something is going to be difficult, but we don't know what difficult really is because we've never done it, that's going to give us permission to recognize when things don't look so great, we can start to point out and say, this is the thing that he was talking about. This is the thing that I committed to really being hard. And now I have to figure out what I could do to get to the other side of it. So many people want things to just be easy and streamlined, and they don't realize that it's going to take hard work. There's this false expectation that so many people have. And because they have this false expectations, they always get disappointed. They keep getting pushed down. There's a reason why 50% of 20-year-olds believe they're going to be millionaires by the age of 25. And how many of them actually make it? If we could start to set our expectations right in terms of the work that we need to input and the fact that it's going to be difficult and we don't even know what difficult means yet, then we have the ability to get started on the right foot. The second topic that we need to talk about is the coding topic. You see, we have to understand, as young adults, we have the ability to learn certain skills. And in order for us to really be successful at something, there's so many mini skills along the way that we have to learn. So although we might learn sales, if we don't know how to create a product, or if we don't know marketing, we're not going to be able to get the opportunity to sell. So recognizing there's certain skills along the way that we have the ability to learn. And the younger we start learning these skills, the more successful we're going to be. Even if it's within a relationship and you want to learn about communication, there are certain things that you can do. It's one of the things that a lot of people in my program reach out to me about because they want to learn how to communicate. There may be an introvert, or they don't know how to have a really fulfilling conversation, or maybe it's always just awkward whenever they start to speak to somebody. But there's skills and tools that you can learn in order to be able to help you with that conversation. And if we can start to recognize that they're just skills that we need to be learning, we can start to really get better at them. And it takes you to the fourth component of understanding that we need to have a growth mindset. Dr. Carol Dweck made famous this idea that people either have a growth mindset or they have a fixed mindset. And the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset is the belief about ourselves. What beliefs do you have about yourself that are not really supporting you to do the things that you want? Do you believe that you're an extrovert or maybe an introvert? If you're a math person, an English person, you're a science person, you're quiet, you're loud. What are the beliefs that you have about yourself that are not serving you? Because if we have a certain belief in the way we focus on ourselves, we're only going to be embracing that person. And if we want to be somebody else, then we're not allowing ourselves to learn the skills. So understanding that we have the ability to grow, we can have this growth mindset of saying, I can become somebody, even if I don't have the skills yet, then we can start to learn the skills to become that person. It's not going to be easy. And this goes back to the first point of understanding it's going to be hard work, but recognize that we have the ability to change. So if you want to start working on yourself and compounding those skills over time, for the rest of your life, you're going to be so much more ahead the younger it is that you start. But then also recognizing that we have the ability to change. So even though you think you're only one way and you're in a certain box that somebody might have put you in, realize that you can break out of that box and you have the ability to do so much more in your own personal life. The third topic is the programming aspect of your life. You see, in order to become successful, there's two main character traits that you need to work on. And the younger we get, the harder it is to really step into these. And the older you get, you understand how much time you might have wasted if you didn't learn these. The first one is patience. Yes, it's so classic and cliche to say that patience is a virtue, but understanding that if we don't have patience, we're not going to be able to be successful. Yes, we're not going to be successful because we're going to try to skip the line, or we're going to try to do things. And after months or maybe even years of you trying to rush things, you're going to understand that slow and steady wins the race. If you can start to recognize, hey, if I could just take a step back and recognize what I need to be doing, then you could be more patient and look at it at a longer time horizon. So many people are in such a rush and they have no patience. But if I can guarantee you that you can be a millionaire in 7 to 10 years, and most people, if they think about the question, would say yes. So why is it that people are rushing success? They think it's going to happen within the next weeks or months. And if we could start to recognize that patience is going to be one of the big keys for us to see the success over the long term, we're going to be playing a different game. And that is going to be so key when it comes to the success that we want. And that brings us to the next point of recognizing that we need to be consistent. You see, many times people come over to me and they say, Bennett, I want to start working on my health. I want to start going to the gym. And they say, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. And if you're somebody who doesn't go to the gym, that's a big commitment. And it could be for the first week and maybe even the second week, you're going to be able to do the 5 weeks in the gym, but recognizing that it's better to be able to go to the gym 3 times a week over a 6-month period as opposed to 5 times a week over the course of a month or so. Because what happens is we overcommit ourselves, and by overcommitting ourselves, we end up not doing the thing in the long run. What is something in your personal life that you committed and you overcommitted to that you're not doing anymore? But if you would have taken smaller steps, if you would have just really focused on what is necessary and focus on the long term, the consistency, you could have seen that you would have had that success that you're looking for. So recognizing if we could be patient and look at the long game, and also recognize that doing the work every single day or week, whatever it is that we're looking to do, is going to help us to become more successful over time. And the fourth topic are the engineers in our life. And what I mean by that is at a young age, there's only so much knowledge that we have. And hopefully we understand that we can learn and build the skills. But we have to start to find the mentors in our own personal lives that have certain insights into the things that we want to be working on. So whether it's a business, a relationship, our health, our own personal development, who are the people that you can go to ask your questions to, who will be there for you, who are looking out for your best interest? Whether it's a parent, a friend, a mentor, a coach, who's the person that you could go to be able to get the answers that you're looking for? Because we have to realize that there are people a few steps ahead of us, and if we can start to pick their brains a little bit, be able to give us that advantage, the learning curve is going to be so much quicker and we'll be able to move forward a lot better. And if you don't have a mentor or you don't have anybody around you, what are the books that you can read? And this brings you to my 8th point of understanding that we have the ability to really read and to understand what successful people do by reading books or watching YouTube videos on certain people. And recognizing that we have this ability to learn about others who are successful and to know how it is that they would work based on their own writings. And if we have that ability to pick Elon Musk's brain or to pick any of these marketing gurus' brains to be able to learn certain skills, would it not be worth it? People would pay millions of dollars to work with these people one-on-one, but we wouldn't spend $10 to buy one of their books. And what's cool nowadays, you're able to learn it on audiobook, Kindle, whatever it is that you prefer in order to make sure that you're going to see that success. So understanding number 1 is to try to find the mentors in your life for specific areas. And it's one of the things that I take pride in, that I have about 8 or 9 people in my personal life that I know I can go to based on the type of question that I'm looking for. There's one mentor of mine that I speak to about 1 time a year because I usually have a specific type of question that I know I want to get his insights. If we could recognize that we could have those people around us to help support us, then we could start to move forward into the things that we're looking to really do. And the 5th and final topic is making sure you're pressing the button for success. You see, so many people are blaming others for where it is that they are. And we have to realize that we have to own it. We have to own our own lives, and we can't be blaming other people. Wherever we point our finger, that's where we're giving the power to. So whether it's a parent, an old teacher, the government, whoever it is, if we are pointing our fingers at somebody else, we are giving them the power of our own personal lives. We cannot necessarily rely on everybody else, and we have to start to take ownership. If we can stop pointing at others and we can start pointing the finger at ourselves, we'll be able to move forward with the success that we're looking for. So recognizing that is going to be key when it comes to success, because people who are successful are not looking at anybody else except for the person in the mirror. If you have that ability to make sure that things are going to get done because you're going to get them done, then you have the ability to see that success. Too many people are plagued by not doing things because they're so worried about everybody else and other people's comments. And if we could look to take the ownership and we could focus on what we need to get done, we can start to see the success because we have control over it, not somebody else. So there are the 10 tips that we have. It's making sure that we're doing the work and we're in the process of making things happen. It's understanding that things are going to be difficult and it's going to be hard, and we don't even know what hard really means. There's so many skills that need to be learned, and the younger we learn them, then the better off we're going to be later on. Understanding the growth mindset of recognizing that it's on us to be able to fix and to grow within any area that we want to be growing in. Understanding we need to be patient when it comes to our success. We need to be consistent when it comes to our success. We need to find the right mentors. We need to read the right books. We need to stop blaming other people, and we need to take ownership. If you can do these 10 things, you're going to be so much more ahead of so many other people, and the success that you're going to have is going to manifest so much quicker than you think. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and to check out this video where you're going to continue to have a more richer, fulfilling life.